Is this thing on? So I guess I can just start talking
Yeah,
while we're figuring out the audio.
All right.
So the general idea behind Tutti is, social media has obviously become like a big piece of music. Right now, it actually leads in music engagement. There's just a lot of people spending a lot of time on those platforms, and music obviously drives a big piece of content and socials. And so what we wanted to do was simplify remixing, right, in consumer creation, let them participate in the creation process, and make it as simple as picking an Instagram filter or adding a transition on, in CapCut to a video. And so the idea was that we were going to show you a remix up front and then kind of recreate that later. But that's the idea behind Tutti. And so we're kind of building the next layer of music creativity. And this is not for artists or engineers. It's the hundreds of millions of people that are actually posting content and using mobile editors. And so we kind of want to change how like the next generation can interact with music. So why we built this, because, there's been this big fundamental change when it comes to the function of music. And so we're still in a world, and we always will be, where we consume it and we passively listen to it. But more and more with the growth of the creator economy, people want to participate. And, we've seen this more than ever on the social channels, where we go from listening from 3-minute songs to 60-second clips. And on those social channels, right, they're dominated by the vertical scrolling feeds, the short attention spans. So it's really important to grab the attention of your audience super quickly. And the best thing that does that is actually remixes. And so I believe 34% of all audio across the socials have been modified by users for that use case. At one point at TikTok, I believe 80% of the top 100 sounds were remixes, and so they capture the audience really, really well. And it's just kind of interesting to think, because they're not only just a creative tool, but they're kind of a growth engine for content, right? It's really important for content performance to have something catchy, and so creators love it. It's also become a top channel for artist growth and exposure. So new releases, they'll have budgets for producers to come in and actually create remixes to go and flood the social channels and try to get that organic growth. Like I say, it's a top channel for artist growth and exposure, and so it's such a big piece to the ecosystem and where music is moving to, and so we wanted to open this up to the actual consumer. There we go. I heard it. So, yep. We had this really cool intro song we're going to wow you guys with.
Really quickly, let me just screen mirror again, let you guys see what's happening. Yeah. Cool, sorry about this, everyone. All right, fingers crossed here, but no promises. Oh, we're too far again. I think it might be the screen mirroring. Let me try moving closer, sorry. Talk through it. If the audio doesn't play, that would be a little bit of a bummer. Let's see. Well, I guess just to keep the ball rolling while we try to figure this out, I could go through what the process would look like a little bit. So if you were to start a project in Tutti, this is a blank. Oh, there we go. This is a blank project in Tutti. So to walk through the process of recreating the remix that you guys just heard, you'd go into your library, find a song. I knew I wanted it to be like high energy and pretty bold, so my mind went straight to Levels by Avicii. So I threw that instrumental in, and then you notice all these colors are now appearing in the library next to all these tracks. This is an internal recommendation system that is suggesting to the end user which songs would go well with the current project settings. And that's how I landed on the Dynamite vocal specifically. So you can preview all these songs, and of course the audio's not coming through, but it would come through, and then I added the vocals there by just hitting plus in this submenu. And from there, we go back to the project. And then you will see those stems right there. So we have the instrumental on top in blue, and I would be able to preview it in theory by clicking the play button there. And same thing on the bottom with the vocals. But just to kind of speed through things, I could drag individual segments up here if I would like to, and I could build my remix piece by piece that way. Or alternatively, and what I did for the remix that we listened to, is just drag entire stems at a time. So actually, that was all I did to make the remix that we heard when I walked in. If I wanted to, I could have gone in and messed with individual volume controls. I could delete sections as they're creating. I could rearrange sections in the middle of creation, adjust the speed, change the key in real time as playback is occurring, or follow the recommended values that Tutti produces automatically. And okay, cool. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. All right, here we go. Cool. Now, fingers crossed. Checking this theory. There we go. Hey, all right, we figured it out. Nice. Thank you very much. So let's skip to something more exciting, maybe. Sorry, I messed up the order. So as that's going, it's going to sound crazy, but I could go demon mode, change the key in real time, higher pitch. I could also change the speed, etc. And so as that's going, you can kind of create to your heart's content, hear what you're doing in real time, and not have to worry about music production. You don't need to know what an EQ filter does or anything like that. And you just create and play. And once you have a song that you feel ready to actually put out into the world, whether that's on SoundCloud as a full remix, on TikTok as a 30-second clip, what you would do is give your project a title up here, which I'm not actually going to do. But then go ahead and, sorry, there's a brief flag. Oh, wrong screen. Oh, now we're talking. Let's go. Okay, great. So as we're going here, yeah, so this is what I meant in terms of like the live edits. So as we're going here, I could decide I don't want this verse anymore. Don't need that. Maybe I want to skip forward a little bit. And so this is all of the stuff that I have been doing before. And so anyways, that's the entire kind of creation process. If I wanted to share, I would just go ahead and hit this button here. You can see the platforms that we support sharing to right now. And just really quickly to highlight, one of the special secret sauces that we have, or differentiator for us, is that, probably good on the screen, thank you. Okay. Now we're talking. And now I can actually get in front of you instead of that. So in the sharing process with our partner platforms like SoundCloud, we don't just pass the content over to their platform and then rely on Content ID. We also pass through metadata about the remix, so they have 100% accurate source of truth data to give attribution to the artist, pay royalties accordingly for UGC remixes. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's kind of how we're working with the industry to try to solve and monetize the social remixing situation. So that's what we do. Sorry about everything and bearing with us for it, but I'll pass it back to Duke where there's less tech going on.
And I don't know how much time we have left, but I can just kind of speed through the rest here. So just want to say a few things. We've launched the beta in 2 versions. One's publicly facing, and that one has only songs that have been cleared, and we call it 200% clearing when it's the label and the publisher. We do have a limited beta version that's private, and so some of the songs that you saw on there are those. We're just using them for testing purposes. But we've signed 2 big deals now with Cobalt and with Spirit Music Group. So we're going to start naturally migrating over to the publicly facing version and launching this app later this year. Who we're really building this for, because we get this question all the time. We're from San Francisco, where you get a lot of SaaS and B2B, and you have this remixing app that came out of nowhere. And people say, who's actually going to use this? Well, there's billions of people that actually post these social channels. 500 million of them already use mobile editors for video and for photo. And so that's our beachhead, is to target those exact users who are already creating, have a big appetite for these types of simple editors, unlock music creation for the first time, and then sort of expand from there. And just thinking about what's coming, on our roadmap in the next, let's call it 6 months to a year, is continuing to push on licensing and partner with some other wonderful labels and publishers, because the idea is to have this big, robust, fun catalog so our users can remix songs that they know and love. And then we elected to open up one final angel round before we target VCs. That's already about 60% full. And but if anybody's interested and has an idea or wants to participate, we definitely would love to have that conversation. And then we're also building out an SDK so that we can partner with streaming platforms, radio, mostly online, of course, and like DJ platforms that want to go from some sort of like passive consumption model to a more creator forward model, and so they can kind of leverage our tech to do that. So did I miss anything?
We made it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening.
Questions? If you have a question, come on up and I'll hand the mic. Yeah.
How do you make money?
Yeah. It's a good question.
That is a very good question. Yeah, so the question is, how do we make money? So yeah, what we're doing is we're monetizing the point of creation. So the app itself is free to download, anyone can get it, and there's a small library of free to access music that they can use and play around with to get a feel for it, including some promotional tracks from artists and labels who want to promote themselves. And if they want to access more premium content or more popular music or just specific songs that they know and love, they could either purchase credits and on a one-to-one basis spend credits to add stems to projects. So kind of microtransaction model. There's also ad-supported version of that same workflow. And really what we want to get users to do is become subscribers where they get unlimited access to the entire catalog, unlimited sharing for every project, and getting rid of all those other kind of creative restrictions that we have for non-subscribers, and eliminating ads. So yeah, monetizing creation in a way that doesn't quite exist right now.
Do you see a future where you'll collaborate with artists themselves instead of working with like labels and like independent artists specifically?
Yeah, if there are any, and if you are one, if there are any independent artists in the room who would like to license with us, please check out our website. There's a For Artists section where we can do direct licensing deals, and we would love to work with all of your guys' content. Beyond just getting you in the app, there's also a remix contest component that we didn't quite touch on because we haven't built out in the application yet, but we're in the process right now, where artists and their fans can self-create remix contests that require that users use a specific song. So you as an artist could say, hey, I just dropped this new song, really want to promote it on TikTok heavily. Let me go ask all my fans to make their favorite remix. I'll choose my favorite, give them a free ticket. They're flooding social media with your content, getting royalties from Tutti for the creation, and just generally broadcasting your content out there. So the answer is we work with independent artists in the same way that we do as labels and publishers. Yeah, of course. Oh, all right, last question. That's not up to me. Cool.
How many paying users do you have?
So we are pre-revenue. We have not launched. We're not monetizing yet. We are in beta, and we have over 3,000 downloads on the beta. We currently maintain about 550 monthly active users at the moment, and that's all without much marketing or, if any, marketing spend at all. Just honestly, people are searching remixing tools, so I'm getting some downloads there.
Yeah. Hopefully that changes soon, though.
Yeah, when we refer to launch, what we define as launch is turning on monetization effectively.
Okay. All right.
If you have more questions, grab them.
Yeah.
Please
Thank
do.
you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Sorry about that.
Don't be sorry. It was great.
Amazing. All right.